The yacht is called Kismet. It is 105 meters long. It has a helicopter landing pad, a swimming pool, and enough space to host a private concert. It is docked in a Mediterranean harbor, and it belongs to you. You are 65 years old. You arrived in America with $2 in your pocket and a suitcase you borrowed from your uncle. That was 49 years ago. Before the yacht, before the Jacksonville Jaguars NFL team you own, before the Premier League football club in London, before the $8.9 billion manufacturing empire that employs 25,000 people across 8 countries. There was a 16-year-old boy from Lahore, Pakistan, who stepped off a plane in Champaign, Illinois, in 1967 with a single piece of luggage and $2 to his name. His first night in America was spent in a $2 a night room at the University YMCA in Champaign, Illinois. He had no relatives in America. He had enrolled at the University of Illinois to study industrial engineering. He did not know anyone. He had $2. He found a job the next morning washing dishes for $1.20 an hour. He did not complain about any of this. This is not a story about luck. It is not a story about being in the right place at the right time. It is a story about a specific kind of stubbornness that looks like patience from the outside, the kind that starts with washing dishes at $1.20 an hour and ends with a 105-meter superyacht and an NFL franchise. We are going back to 1967, but first, you need to understand one thing about this story. The most important decision Shahid Khan ever made was not buying the Jacksonville Jaguars. It was not buying the Flex and Gate Corporation. It was not the Toyota contract. It was a decision he made when he was 28 years old, in a conversation with a man named Charles Butzow about a patent for a bumper part design that Butzow was going to let expire. Lahore, Pakistan, 1967. You are 16 years old. Your father owns a small shop that sells engineering survey and drawing equipment in Lahore. Your mother is a professor of mathematics. You have grown up in a household where education is the primary currency. You have been accepted to the University of Illinois at Urbana-Champaign to study industrial engineering. You are leaving in 2 weeks. Your family is not wealthy. Your father's shop is stable, not rich. The university acceptance came with a partial scholarship, but the rest requires money your family does not have in full. You have borrowed the suitcase from your uncle. You have saved every rupee from 2 years of helping in the shop on weekends. When you convert your savings to American dollars at the airport exchange, you have $16.40. By the time you land, after the airport fees, you have two: the flight to Chicago O'Hare, a bus to Champaign. You arrive at the university campus at night. A woman at the housing office points you toward the YMCA down the road. The dormitories will not open for 3 days. You pay $2 for the room. You lie on the bed. You do not feel sorry for yourself. You feel like something is about to begin. The next morning at 6:45, you walk into the university cafeteria and ask if they need anyone to wash dishes. They do. $1.20 an hour. You take it. You work 6 to 9 every morning before your first class. You save every cent above your food and housing costs. You do not call this sacrifice. You call it maths. He joins the Beta Theta Pi fraternity at Illinois. He graduates in 1971 with a Bachelor of Science in Industrial Engineering. He is 21 years old. During his time at university, he has worked every morning washing dishes, then moved up to waiting tables, then to a part-time role in the university engineering department. He has not borrowed money from his family since the day he arrived. He calls his parents once a week. He tells them it is going well. It is. He joins Flex and Gate Corporation as a junior engineer. Flex and Gate makes automotive bumpers and exterior parts for American car manufacturers. The company is run by a man named Charles Butzow. Butzow is a pragmatic Midwestern businessman who values results over everything else. He notices within 6 months that the young Pakistani engineer works at a different speed and with a different level of attention than anyone else on the floor. By 1978, he is the engineering director of Flex and Gate. He earns a reasonable salary. He has married Ann Carlson, whom he met at university in 1967. They dated for 10 years before marrying, because he wanted to be certain of everything before he committed to it. He lives in a modest house in Urbana. He drives a second-hand car. He is saving. He is always saving. 1978. Charles Butzow calls you into his office. He says he is thinking of letting one of the company's patents expire, a design for a custom pickup truck front bumper. The tooling is expensive to maintain. The market is small. He does not think it is worth renewing. He is going to let it go. You listen, you ask 2 questions. Then you walk back to your desk and spend the rest of the day thinking about what he said. That evening, you do the arithmetic. Custom truck bumpers. Pickup trucks are becoming more popular, not less. Body shops need parts. No major manufacturer supplies this niche with quality parts. The tooling cost is high but one time. The margin, if you can get the contracts, is real. The question is not whether the business is viable. The question is whether you are willing to bet everything you have on it. You apply for a small business administration loan, $50,000. You add $16,000 of your own savings, money you have been saving since you washed dishes at $1.20 an hour in the university cafeteria in 1968. You have never spent a dollar you did not need to spend. Every dollar that went into that account was intended for something that mattered. This is it. Bumper Works opens in 1978, a small facility in Urbana, Illinois. You are 30 years old. You have a phone, a desk, 3 employees, including yourself, and $66,000 worth of tooling. You have no guaranteed contracts yet. You have a product, a price, and a phone. You start calling every independent body shop and auto repair center in the Midwest. The first year revenue, $340,000. The second year, $650,000. By 1980, Bumper Works is profitable, growing, and crucially, better at making precision bumpers than anyone else in the market. Charles Butzow notices. He is now 70 years old. He is thinking about selling Flex and Gate. He calls you. Butzow calls in 1980. He says, I am selling the company. He says, I think you should buy it. He says, I will give you terms. You say, what kind of terms? He says, you can pay me over time, from the company's own revenues. No bank, no outside investor, just the company paying for itself. You sit with this for 4 days. Ann sits with you. On the 5th day, you call him back. In 1980, you buy Flex and Gate Corporation from Charles Butzow. You are 30 years old. You are a Pakistani immigrant who arrived with $2 and is now the owner of an American manufacturing company. The purchase is structured entirely on deferred payment from company revenues. Butzow believed in you enough to wait. You run both companies simultaneously for 2 years before merging Bumper Works into Flex and Gate. Here is where the story stands in 1980. You are 30 years old. You own a manufacturing company you bought on deferred payment. You have merged your startup into a real corporation. Revenue is growing. The big 3 automakers, Ford, GM, Chrysler, are your main customers. You are good. You are not yet extraordinary. That changes in 1984 when a Japanese car company calls. 1984. Toyota is beginning to manufacture pickup trucks for the American market. They need an American bumper supplier who can meet their quality standards. A procurement officer from Toyota contacts Flex and Gate. Your production manager takes the call and brings it to you. You clear your afternoon. You drive to the meeting yourself. The Toyota meeting. The procurement officer presents the quality specifications. They are unlike anything the American manufacturers have asked for. Dimensional tolerances, measured in fractions of a millimeter. 0 defect targets. A just-in-time delivery model. That means no inventory buffer. Parts must arrive exactly when the assembly line needs them. You listen to all of it. Then you say, we can do this. You do not immediately know how, but you know you will learn how. You go back to the factory. You bring in a Japanese manufacturing consultant for 6 weeks. It costs money you can feel, but not money that breaks you. You study the Toyota production system. You rebuild your manufacturing process from the floor up. You eliminate waste at every stage. Your workers are part of the redesign, not told about it after. By 1987, Flex and Gate is the sole supplier of bumper systems for all Toyota pickup trucks sold in the United States. The contract is worth more than anything the company has ever held. By 1989, Toyota expands the relationship. Flex and Gate becomes the sole supplier for the entire Toyota vehicle line in America. Revenue in 1989, $17 million. That number will grow to $8.9 billion in 30 years. What Toyota taught him was not just a manufacturing system, it was a philosophy. Change is a feature, not a problem. The ability to reconfigure a production line in minutes rather than days is a competitive advantage. Waste is not just inefficiency, it is a moral failing. Every excess part sitting in a warehouse is money that should be doing something. He applies every one of these principles to every plant he opens for the rest of his career. Through the 1990s, Flex and Gate opens plants in Mexico, then Canada, then Spain. Through the 2000s, plants in China, Germany, France, Argentina. He does not move his headquarters from the American Midwest. He does not become a coastal company. He stays in Urbana, Illinois, where he washed dishes, because it is where the work is, and he has never confused where work happens with where the money ends up. He becomes an American citizen in 1991. He has lived in America for 24 years. He has employed more Americans than most Americans will ever employ. He takes the citizenship oath in a courthouse in Illinois. He calls his parents in Lahore that evening. His father asks, "What does it feel like?" He says, "It feels like the paperwork finally matches the reality." 2012. Forbes magazine puts him on the cover. The headline calls him the face of the American dream. He is 62 years old. His company employs 25,000 people. He has never sold a stake in it. He has never taken it public. It is 100% privately owned and 100% his. He calls this the most important financial decision he ever made, not selling what he built. By 2020, Flex and Gate has 69 manufacturing plants across 8 countries, 25,000 employees, and annual revenue of $8.9 billion. It is the 46th largest privately held company in America. It is the 7th largest American automotive parts supplier. All of it built from a $66,000 bet in 1978 on a bumper patent that Charles Butzow was going to let expire. This is 2012. Shahid Khan is 62 years old. His company revenue is above $2 billion. He has spent 45 years building an industrial empire. He is about to do something different. Not because he needs to, but because at a certain level, money stops being about money and starts being about something you want to stand for. In 2011, the Jacksonville Jaguars NFL team is available for purchase. The asking price is $770 million. He has been interested in owning an NFL team for years. He made an earlier attempt to buy the St. Louis Rams, which did not succeed. He submits a bid for the Jaguars. In December of 2011, the NFL owners vote unanimously to approve the sale. On the 4th of January, 2012, the sale is finalized. He becomes the owner of the Jacksonville Jaguars. He is the first member of an ethnic minority to own an NFL franchise in history. A Pakistani immigrant who paid $2 for a YMCA room in 1967 owns a National Football League team. He calls this, not the company, not the money, the moment that made him feel the full distance of the journey. In 2013, he purchases Fulham Football Club in London, England, for a fee estimated between 150 and 200 million pounds. He is now the owner of professional sports franchises on 2 continents. He keeps the Fulham ground, Craven Cottage, because he likes old things that have been respected. He says, "I am not interested in tearing things down. I am interested in building." The Superyacht Kismet, 105 meters, built by a German shipyard. It has a cinema, a swimming pool, multiple guest suites, a helicopter landing pad, and a crew of 46. He sails it in the Mediterranean every summer. He also builds a second, larger Kismet in 2024 after selling the first to a tech billionaire in 2023 for a reported £70 million. He replaces it with something bigger. This is consistent with every decision he has ever made. He owns a house in Naples, Florida, and an apartment in Chicago's Gold Coast neighborhood. He is not a man who talks about his homes. He is not a man who posts about his possessions. He is, after 60-plus years in America, still the same person who calculated every dollar and called it maths. The scale has changed. The habit has not. Net worth as of January 2025, $13.3 billion. Ranked 55th in the Forbes 400 list of richest Americans. The richest automotive parts manufacturer in the world. A Pakistani immigrant from Lahore, who spent his first American night in a $2 YMCA room. The maths, as he would say, worked out. $13.3 billion, 69 factories, an NFL team, a Premier League club, a 105-meter yacht. This is what the story looks like from the outside. Here is what it looks like from the inside. He has never sold a single share of Flex and Gate. It is 100% privately owned. He has been offered money to take it public. He has declined. He says, "I built this to build it, not to sell it." This is a decision that has cost him liquidity he did not need and preserved control he refused to give up. He does not explain this often. He does not need to. The company is still his. He kept his headquarters in Urbana, Illinois. He did not move to New York. He did not move to California. He did not move his base of operations to where the money goes when it becomes very large. He stayed where the work is. His employees in Urbana include many people whose parents also worked at Flex and Gate. The company is, after 46 years, a community institution in a way that a publicly traded corporation rarely becomes. His son Tony Khan runs All Elite Wrestling, a professional wrestling promotion that Tony co-owns and operates. His daughter Shanna is not publicly prominent. He has spent 49 years in America and has never become the kind of person who talks about what he has. He has become the kind of person who builds things, keeps them, and lets the things speak. The things have been speaking for a long time now. He received a Great Immigrant Award from the Carnegie Corporation of New York in 2025. The award recognizes immigrants who have made extraordinary contributions to American society. He has been receiving awards for 50 years. He keeps them in an office. He does not display them in the homes. He says, the company is the award. Everything else is documentation. Here is the arithmetic. In 1968, you were earning $1.20 an hour, washing dishes at a university cafeteria in Illinois. In 2024, your net worth is $13.3 billion. The difference between those two numbers is not luck, and it is not talent alone. It is 56 years of not spending what you do not need to spend, not selling what you do not need to sell, and not stopping when stopping would have been easier. He never sold the company. He never left Illinois. He never stopped working before anyone else got there. He married one person and has been married to her for almost 50 years. He drove second-hand cars when he could afford new ones because the money was not for the car, it was for the next factory. When the factories were built and the money became too large to spend on factories, he bought a yacht. The yacht is called Kismet, the Arabic word for fate. He chose the name. He would. Drop a comment. What is the one decision in this story you think made the biggest difference? Was it taking the dishwashing job, buying Flex and Gate from Butzow, the Toyota contract, or something else? Subscribe. The next story is already here. One person, one decision that changes everything, and a number at the end that was built $1 at a time.